You know, our government, it's clear that the United States government is set up in a secular manner. But what does that mean to the states? Well, most of the laws, at least originally, were through the state completely. Now the federal has gotten more and more involved, I guess, over the last decades in having their own laws that they try to interject themselves into state issues. But let's look at the First Amendment. Now, a lot of people want to cite the First Amendment, and they want to apply that to the states. Well, the First Amendment clearly says Congress. That's the first word, Congress shall make no law respecting and establish a religion. Now, you know what Congress is? It's in Washington, D.C. See, it was never intended to ride roughshod over the states. See, the states did not want the federal government to get involved. Now, I can give you a fact to show that's clear, that the states were not under that edict, because the letter written by the Danbury Baptist Association, or Bradbury, I'm mixed up on the name now, but to Thomas Jefferson, and that's where he used that phrase, separation of church and state. Well, that was some 10 years after the ratification of the First Amendment. I think it's the Danbury Baptist Association. That's some 10 years. Now, he clearly states, if you read that, the one from the Danbury Baptist Association, that their state constitution was still an old constitution, and they were operating like under a religious type form of government. And he was saying, Thomas Jefferson, that he liked what it is said in the First Amendment. And what did Thomas Jefferson say? Now, this is some 10 years after the ratification. Well, did he say, well, we're going to come and stop that? No. He talked about sentiments. He hoped that the sentiments would also, I guess, to spread to the states. See, the states did not operate at the liberty of the federal government. See, the federal government operates at the liberty of the states. It was set up by the states. Now, there's certain things which do cover all people, all states. Now, if the First Amendment, at least that first part, had been intended to cover states, it wouldn't have said the word Congress. It just said no laws shall be passed. But it clearly and very distinctly specifies that Congress, which is in Washington, D.C., shall make no laws with respect to the establishment of religion. Read these things. A lot of things get quoted half-heartedly, but again, read that Danbury Baptist Association letter and see what Thomas Jefferson, see what how he states his case, or what he's trying to say to Thomas Jefferson. And he's not asking Thomas Jefferson to do anything. He just, and they talking about sentiments that he hoped, and Thomas Jefferson replied, said, hope that the sentiment of the separation of church and state. That's where that phrase comes in. See, it had nothing to do with the states. Not one solitary thing. And so when the federal government got involved in removing Bibles from schools, that was a violation, because they had no right to do it. But that's how things are. That's how things get twisted. That's how liberals do things anyway. But just read it. Congress shall make no laws. And read that the Danbury Baptist Association. 10 years after the First Amendment had been ratified, they were still operating under somewhat of a religious type set of rules in their state. It's up to the states. It's supposed to be up to the states to do their own constitution, how they'd operate themselves. It wasn't ever given to the federal. Things get twisted, don't they? They get twisted real easy, real quick. They sure do. And especially if liberals involved.